Good Wednesday morning. Hey, it's Ice Age TV here today. And what's the adventure today? What are we talking about today? You know, it's crazy. My wife comes home yesterday afternoon and she hands me this Pony Cars postage stamps thing. I'm like, hmm. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a second, what's this all about? You know, for the record right now, my wife does not know I bought that Gold Rush Challenger. so, so yesterday afternoon, now her mother watches my channel, so I figured she probably told her what's going on. I don't know, danger, right? Danger. Yeah, well, she figured out eventually. Yeah, but here's the thing: yesterday afternoon, she comes back from running some errands, and she's coming back in from work, and she hands this to me. I'm thinking, wait a second, is this like a subtle message to me, like, you got anything to tell me, honey? Yeah, the adventures of marriage, right? Is that the theme today? No, it's not, So, gee whiz. I was out here till 11 o'clock last night getting this car all cleaned up. What are you talking about, car? The gold. Yeah, the gold was delivered. I got gold in that barn now. Yeah. So, if you're following my channel, you understand that language. And, I just was just all giggles. For me, that's been my life. Is it apparent that I get excited about owning a new vehicle, a different vehicle? Yeah. What's the passion? The passion of us car motorheads, especially as Ice Age people. Come on, baby. So, I get to think to myself, it's crazy. In my lifetime, I grew up playing basketball, baseball, football, soccer, tennis, golf, snow skiing, boating, water skiing, dirt bike riding. No, get over here. Come on back in here. And hunting, did the hunting thing and fishing. And it's just crazy and how all those things I just mentioned, oh boy, here it is. So it has a whole different, energy about it this morning. And I mentioned yesterday about how I think this car sits lower, and a gentleman said, yeah, these sit lower than the Scat Pack. It just seems to me it has a lower profile, which, oh my gosh. But this is just a whole different type of, with the early morning sun coming up, this just has a different type of that Gold Rush look. It's just so interesting. It's kind of like is it the mood ring? I mean, wow. Yeah, just incredible. Dodge, this right here, this look right here, this is so the 70s track looking Challenger. The wide rear tires. I mean, it's just incredible how this car is just such a, it's such a sought after car. I mean, this vehicle, the Challengers, just good Lord. So, oh my gosh, yeah, you've seen all the videos, you've seen the car, you've seen the pictures, but here this morning, this definitely gives a different type of, look. What's that all about? If you know what I mean. I'm trying to kind of get that glare. See, that sun glares off this lens in this phone. I'm trying to kind of get that taken away. You know what I mean? Walk up here and... Yeah, the paint is in such great shape. I'm just so glad. I was concerned this to have etched paint. So, come on, girl. Let's get up here. Look at that. So that gives you a little better look there. Oh, my goodness. Just wow. So, the passions. Come on. Am I excited this morning? I am. Am I glad I went ahead and got this car? I am. I'm so glad I picked this car up. Come on, girl. Let's go. Gotta get in the office. Start the work day. Come on, baby. Come on. Yeah, so as you get up here in the office, oh, dang it. I forgot my paper. Well, I'll get that in a minute. Paperwork, this, that. Files. So many files of cars I have. Boxes and boxes. So the workday begins, and I just woke up with that, damn, I want to get out and see that car. I want to drive that car. And I think that us motorheads, boy, if you're a true motorhead, you totally get that conversation. You totally understand how exciting it is to get a new ride. I mean, it's that passion for the vehicle. And I was just thinking to myself this morning when I got out of bed, I had that all giggly, exciting feel that, I want to drive my car. And it's debatable today. I get so much going on. I leave tomorrow to Tennessee, so I have to wrap up so many things to get out of here business-wise. Do I even have a chance to drive the car today or tomorrow? That car may end up not even being driven until next week, which that's kind of, I'll drive it, but I kind of like to drive it some good miles because I have a 7-day return policy. Now, I sincerely can't see if things wrong with that car, but at the same time, once you get up on the road, who knows? Did you just turn off? Does something happen? I have no idea. So it'd be advantageous to drive that car because once I leave, I'll be gone, and then I'd be right on the edge of me getting back in town and trying to, eclipse that time frame. So, but here's what I'm thinking about this morning myself is, I've grown up of what I just said of my life, my upbringings, and I can remember being a kid and my dad wanted to go to the car dealership to get a car. Believe me, we didn't do that much at all. Nothing. My dad was not, we were maybe a little upper middle class, maybe most of the life middle class. Later, my father's life, he did, do very well, but nothing, radical. So, he wasn't buying a car every year, that didn't happen. We had like 2 cars. So, but I just remember when I was younger, I still remember him going and picking up, I believe it was 1970 Pontiac Le Mans 2-door. Kind of crazy my dad bought a 2-door Pontiac Le Mans with 4 kids. He did that. And I can to this day remember going to that car dealership. That was like in 1969. And him buying that new car. And that car is so cool. And I can remember going with him to look at cars, which wasn't much, but I can just remember those select times that we went and looked at cars. Like the first time I ever saw a Datsun 260Z in California, like wow. The first time I ever saw a Chevrolet step-side pickup, I was like, wow. And these things have stuck in my head. The first time I saw an FJ Cruiser in 1973 or 4, I saw a Toyota like burgundy red FJ Cruiser in California, and I think it was like $7,000 back then. I'd say 6. I think. So I remember that. I can still remember crawling around a Toyota. I think Corolla back then. They call it the Corolla. Not sure about that. I remember crawling around the Mazda. And I can remember even as being as a young kid, the Toyota quality to the Mazda quality. I could already tell a Toyota was a better built car than the Mazda. I would have been like 10, 11 years old. And then I can remember my dad buying a nice new Cadillac Eldorado in California, which he always wanted a Cadillac Eldorado new. He bought a used Eldorado, which that thing was a fiasco. That was back in like 1971. We actually broke down at Route 81. When I drive down Route 81 in Tennessee, I literally see the hotel we stayed in when that car broke down. And I can remember that. That was like 1971, just a kid. 72, I think it was, something like that. And so, what I'm trying to reflect upon my viewers that watch me is, the passion for cars. And I tell people this all the time. Growing up, hunting, fishing, playing sports, there's not one Saturday morning, and I'll use the Saturday morning as an example for most people in life, because typically most Saturday mornings are the day of week you don't work and you have freedom to do what you want to do, unless you're married and kids, and the list goes on and on and on. But, for the most part, your Saturday, Sundays usually give you freedom to be away from your job and do what you want. And I'm not making this up. I've never woken up on a Saturday morning thinking, oh man, I can't wait to go fishing, or man, I want to go hunting, or let's go play tennis this morning, or let's go golfing, or let's go, yeah. You know what? I've woken up, oh my gosh, man, I can't wait to jump in my car and go drive my car today. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to jump on my motorcycle and go ride a motorcycle today. That's what my passion is. I mean, I'm not, and I know there's tons of other people watching my YouTube channel. They're like, yeah, for me, if I have that special car sitting at home, I'm thinking, man, when I get home, I want to take that thing out for a ride, or this weekend I'm going to take it somewhere. I mean, look at the car shows. Look what people do. They pull out their nice rides, and it gives them an excuse to go drive around, ride around, and then show them off. It just reinforces how much they love their car and their passion for it, and they want to share with others what they have. And so for me, I just think to myself, wow, the passion, the passions. But it's a dangerous thing as well, like anything. There's a fine line, and that's, look at me. I'm not your model individual on the controlling of your passions. I mean, look how many freaking vehicles, you just witnessed this year. We counted yesterday. If you just count the vehicles, I think we went to 16 transactions. But I would say, take away the 2 trailers and zero turn, the motorcycle, then it's 12. I actually have purchased 12 cars this year. 12 transactions. If you count the motorcycle and the trailers and zero turns, or just buying things, that's 16. And the year ain't over. Yeah. Are there still things in the works? Yes. There's a whole other thing that works right now sitting in Tennessee for me. It's called another motorcycle. Yeah, I'll have to show you some pictures of that here in a minute. So radiating back to the passions of vehicles in my life, that's what it's always been about, that motor, that engine noise in that car, or that truck, or the motorcycle, or the SUV. So for me, I had to think this morning, what the passions that drive us to do things, and us motorheads, more than ever in our lifetime, we're witnessing something we never would have imagined. And you'd be like, well, what is that statement? The statement is electric vehicles. This is factual. Electric vehicles are, in some ways, being forced onto people. And some people, the EV, lovers, greenies, I don't think they probably watch my channel much, because it's all about the ICE age. It isn't about the EV age. If I rename the channel EV age, it'd be a different, customer watching my, I shouldn't say customer, because I don't make any money. It'd be a different individual watching my videos. I was like, wait a second, what do you mean customer? Yeah, you're making money. We don't know. What's being told? Yeah, right. So the passion for the ICE age, more than ever, is being challenged by the green agenda to want you to be the EV age. Which, yeah, I've bought some EV vehicles, but I still have a passion for the ICE age. And you've witnessed what I've done here just in the last, 2 weeks. So the EV age is getting creative, meaning, which it's not like it's something brand new, but more than ever, I misspoke the other day. Apparently in this new Inflation Act that's being passed, with the government that's in control right now, apparently the automotive manufacturers are now going to offer, the government's going to allow the automotive manufacturers to have up to like $7,500 tax credits for an individual wants to buy a car. But it used to be like a 200,000 vehicle cap, and they're removing that. So I guess it'll be unlimited, that you can qualify to get $7,500 off on a vehicle. But there's conditions. There's conditions on that vehicle with that manufacturer qualifying for that tax rebate to incentivize, to give you incentive to buy the car and to justify maybe spending more for a vehicle. But at the end, it's not, because of the tax incentive. So, but there's stipulations in that. And what it comes down to is where is the car made? What minerals were being used. I mean, there's a lot of little fine detail of you qualifying when you buy that vehicle. If that vehicle has the correct, structure of how it was built to qualify for full tax credit. So what's that all about? And then now France is trying to implement a $100 lease program for the lower income people that can't afford these electric vehicles. So they're trying to subsidize lower income people to be able to drive an electric vehicle over an ICE vehicle, and they're working on that as we speak to try to, get the incentive for people to get out of their gas burning pollutant car. And apparently in France, it's 11% of the market now is EV. And apparently, this is kind of hard to believe, but now they're saying in this country, as of 2022, 5.6% of the vehicles are EV. Yeah, I mean, it's believable. I would have said more like 3 or 4%. So 5.6, they're putting a little number in there. So what does that all mean? I'm sure if you're, listening to my early morning passion conversations today, well, what I'm, trying to communicate here to others is we motorheads, Ice Age people, have such a passion for our vehicles that the governing bodies are literally doing whatever they can to lure us away from them by, it's the old, candy. Here's your candy, here's your treat, your reward. And because they're seeing how us Ice Age people, we don't want the EV technology. We don't want it. We don't believe that that's going to solve the world's problems. So the passions that we have for our Ice Age vehicles is creating more of a challenge for the governing bodies to see that we want to actually, convert. Which, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people out there that have EV vehicles and Ice Age vehicles. I get all that. But think about this. Did you have to get paid to buy an Ice Age vehicle? I mean, did you have to be kind of like convinced or lured in to justify to buy an Ice Age vehicle? I mean, for me, it's kind of quite the opposite, which irritates the heck out of people when the baddest ass, latest, greatest Mopar is built, which was a Dodge Hellcat, and in 2015, people are scrambling and fighting to get a frickin' Hellcat, and even doing devious things to get them, and then people are paying extremely big money to get them. And that's what I was saying here a few minutes ago is, the passions of our vehicles, there's a fine line there on how you handle that. And like I said, don't look at me because you're the guy that your passion's out of control because you buy so many cars. It's all about moderation. Yeah, and if you're watching my YouTube channel, you're seeing I'm kind of thinking to myself, yeah, the moderation has to start happening. And that's why I'm downsizing and kind of picking and choosing what I really want. I'm not getting any younger in life, and I'm looking to the future. Yeah, I should have been doing that 20 years ago, right? Yeah, I don't disagree. So, the point is, for us Ice Age people, the Hellcat's a perfect example of the passion was so strong for that vehicle, the manufacturer couldn't even make them fast enough, build enough, and people would pay stupid money to get them. And that's what I'm conveying is that passion also goes to what we're witnessing more than ever is thievery. I mean, this is no lie. Kuhn's organization, they have a lot of thievery going on of these high-line performance vehicles. And the Dodge product is the most common product that gets stolen off their dealerships. And the thing is, I know anybody that's in the Kuhn's organization, be watching a video, they'd be like, man, don't be telling people that. Well, I think it's an awareness. I think that it can only hopefully help others be aware of if you have a Highline Ice Age vehicle that's not a dime a dozen in the market, you better be probably more than ever protecting it because the Ice Age is coming to an end. Dodge announced it. 2023, the Ice Age is over, last run. Yeah, most people don't realize that the Ice Age days are coming to an end because they're just not fixated on it. Even to the point, the Carvana gentleman that delivered the Hellcat yesterday, really nice young man, he was like, really? You're telling me that the Dodge Hellcat is at the last run? And this Dodge Hellcat Red Eye that I'm delivering you, there's like only one other in a 100-mile radius for sale, and it's a narrow body? That's correct. Go to cars.com. That doesn't mean that's 100% factual because you could be a private seller somewhere there could be a dealership that's not advertising it, but overall, nah. The red eye product is very rare in the market at this point. People are gobbling them up because they know where it's going. I talked about that in great length yesterday. So, the passion on the one end of our life is incredibly strong that, helps us do things. But at the same time, it can be the passion drives people to do really bad things. Just like my Hellcat. But it was a favor. 2015, September of 2014, I was at the Dodge dealership when the books opened up. I was the first guy to put the order in at the Dodge dealership. I was the first guy. But yet, my car never came in. But yet another guy that's buddies with the dealership, he gets his. Even though he didn't put his order in, supposedly, until like a week later after I put my order in. And he was probably like number 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 in line. And I was number 1 in line. But miraculously enough, mine never came in. But he did me a favor because I got to plumb crazy. I had a hard time in 2014 picking a color. I actually picked a white Hellcat. No, anybody out there's a white Hellcat. Beautiful. But I thought, nah, that's not the look for that car I want. So I really went back and forth. Trying to think if the Jazz Blue, I think the Jazz Blue was available for the Hellcat that year. So I may have changed it to that. I don't know. But in the end, I knew it wasn't coming. I knew by this January 2015, no VIN, no build date, nothing, no information. I just knew that something happened. There you go. The passion for that car literally drove another individual to go to the owner of the company and say, yeah, who cares about that Ice Age guy? That guy won't figure it out. How many cars did he buy from you? I don't know, heating and air conditioning company, and I buy hundreds of vehicles from you. You have to give me that order, Plus, I take care of your heating and air conditioning for your facilities, and I don't abuse it. I do you favors. That type of conversation happens. People don't. I think it's just incredible. Just like I was talking about yesterday, the DMV with Carvana. Unbeknownst to people, there are so many states that hate Carvana, and the DMV is in relationships with these automotive dealers associations. You think this through. A DMV, I know for a fact, I know the numbers. Just give you an example. Kuhn's organization, just one dealership called Kuhn's Tyson's Toyota. Back in the heyday, you go back to 2006, 7, even more of a heyday, they were moving 800 to 1,000 vehicles a month. You know how many transactions that is with the DMV? And sure, I know. Not every transaction is going to be a Virginia DMV registration. It could be Florida, New York. But I guarantee it's 75% of those cars. So the whole point is just one car dealership has a relationship with the DMV. The Kuhn's organization, and this isn't anything to accuse the Kuhn's organization of anything. This is just sharing with you. The Kuhn's organization is massive, massive. So in certain states, the Automotive Dealers Association, they have banned Carvana. They don't want Carvana. It's a threat to their infrastructure of their business. So their passion is so much about staying in business and making more money. They're going to do everything they can, if even it's devious ways, to hurt Carvana. And that's why I'm telling you this, because you'll hear so many people, the media, a while back, the media, this is no lie, the media, and the reason I know this, I bought a Toyota 4Runner last September. And it was just shortly after that all of a sudden I started hearing these media stories about people aren't getting their titles to their car. They ain't getting their registration to their car. Carvana is not a trustworthy organization. Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, I'm like, what's going on here? And then what's interesting is select states were having a lot of issues with Carvana's DMV and titling. Select states. Don't get me wrong. If every single state that is letting Carvana do business is having issues, then yeah, I'd raise my hand and say Carvana is doing something bad. But no, it's just select areas of the country and states. What's going on? Well, the passion for the Automotive Dealer Association obviously is so great. They've figured out how to, create hardships for Carvana. But here's the thing. In Virginia, Carvana is now opening up their own all-in-one type of operation, meaning Carvana now will have a location to pick up your car or for them to deliver your car. They'll have a location to bring the vehicle in, get it all ready. They're going to have a location for auctions, which I'm not real clear on that. And they're going to, well, I guess they're going to bring your car that they buy from you, and they bring it to their place and see if they can get more money right there on the spot in an auction versus putting it on their website or whatever. And then the other thing is the DMV is going to be right in with them in the building. So the relationship with the Virginia DMV obviously is a better one than other states, because why would the DMV want to be right next to Carvana to help them make transactions if they didn't like them? So, it's all about the passions. And that's what this morning, and I've told this many times to people on my travels and drive around my nice cars, and I say the same thing. It's like my whole life has always been about engines and cars and trucks and motorcycles and dirt bikes and ATVs and boats. I used to have a 1998 high-performance Sonic performance boat with a 500 horsepower race engine. I think it was a 502, Chevy motor. That was that was an 80-mile-an-hour boat. And that thing was so cool. To this day, you have a boat. If you let those things sit around for years, they just deteriorate. So it's not realistic unless you just use those things all the time. But that boat, that exhaust, it had the, I'd be idling into the dock or to the boat ramp, and there's idling through the water. I mean, if you're a motorhead, you just understand that note out of that engine. And on boats, since back in the 90s, there was no regulation on the environmental side of it, so you can just do whatever you want. So that boat just had that lope and that cam and that exhaust. Just a boom, 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 boom. Anybody that's a motorhead, you just love the lope on the cam. That's the first thing you do when you walk around a 1970, performance car. You go to the back of the exhaust. When you hear that exhaust, have that little bit of that mix. Bum, 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 bum. So I mean, if you don't have that in you, that's just it drives your love for these, ice age vehicles. And of course now it's all different. It's all changed. You're not going to get that. You get a nice exhaust, but because the EPA emissions. What's interesting is on my forum I'm on, that car. What I'm hearing is Dodge was really kind of, clamped down the power of that car. And apparently, one of my good friends in the forum community he's a friend of a lot of people. It's apparently building tuners for these Hellcats, and it's interactive with your cell phone, where you can literally tune your car off your cell phone. And apparently, he's got a tuner, which I'm definitely going to buy, and I'm going to get this stuff, and it opens these cars up, where this car may be pumping at 900 horsepower, 1,000. I don't think that. I don't know. I lost my red eye Hellcat last June, and I just had to kind of come to a closure. Okay, my Hellcat days are over and whatever. And even though deep down it's like, what, down the road I'll get one again. But wow, if Dodge brought a 900 or 1,000 horsepower Hellcat to the market for the last run, I would try to get one. And the reality is, we believe at the SEMA November reveal, we're pretty sure Dodge is going to release a 1,029 horsepower car E85 setup. That's what we're all speculating. But as I was mentioning last night on my last video, is Tim Knuskis is, when he did the big Dodge Hornet reveal, which for anybody who watched the Dodge reveal of the future of Dodge, it was just, like going to a funeral in some degrees, watching that Charger being revealed, and just eerie, just creeping around, no noise. Everybody's kind of following in quiet solitude. It's just like, this is freaky. Then the lawnmower, I should say the weed whacker, ring, 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 run. I mean, yeah. But anyways, so Tim was mentioning that, they're gonna bring the last run of 2023 cars, And, and I swear he referenced there's going to be unhappy people. And I mean, to me, that message was, we're not going to be able to build all these vehicles for everybody. Not everybody's going to get one of these vehicles, so I'm sorry. The 1,000 horsepower cars that get revealed, how many even get it? How many they even, so it's a very limited run. So there's no doubt in my mind that's going to be the $150, $200,000 Hellcat. There's no doubt in my mind. It'll be like the Demon. In fact, if they were to release a Demon today, if they would have waited to the end of the run, oh, that would be a $150, $200,000 car all day long. And back when it got hit the market, it was the 100, 125, 150, but I'm talking now 200. Yeah, no doubt in my mind, in today's environment of cars. So, once again, Tim was radiating back to others that you're not going to be happy with this. You're going to be unhappy because we're not going to be able to bring the product to the market for as many people want it. So, wow, that's a statement. And that's how you watch my videos. You need to step back and say to yourself, and I know, and I agree, I could be wrong. Dodge could open the floodgates up for 2023 and build so many Hellcats that it's just stupid ridiculous. I say it's possible. I don't know. I don't know. I just, that's that. But why? Why would they do that? I mean, I don't know. Dodge does a lot of things that makes no sense. I mean, sincerely. Anybody that's a Mopar enthusiast, they'll be like, yeah, it makes no sense. For me, like, why would they have built a two-door Ram lowered Hellcat truck? Why? I mean, I would pick one of those things up in a heartbeat. That would be such a badass factory. For anybody watching my channel, I let go of the F-150 Lightning Super Snake Shelby truck. That truck was fun, but it hit a wall at 80 miles an hour. It hit a wall. So, and here's the downside. Even for me yesterday, if you watch me driving my Hellcat and me, nailing it, I'm so used to that inertia, it's not good enough. I want that car to have 1,000 horsepower. I mean, sincerely. And that I can get that tuner to crack that, and it's not radical, and having this is where all it goes. Bigger injectors, bigger fuel pump. There's a lot of things that go along with more energy being forced into an engine to get your power out of it. It's not always just you unlock the ECM and everything's beautiful. But I don't know. I'm not a tuner guy. I'm not that into building engines and all this other stuff. That isn't who I am. But others will help and tell me what to do. So the passions of our vehicles, that's the message this morning, because I woke up this morning and I talked to you yesterday about, that's a huge purchase. And it's another huge purchase. Oh my gosh, when does it end? And did I lose sleep over that last night? I did not. I'm just of an age. And that's something that the Carvana guy spoke about, is what they see in these Highline performance vehicles. And I'm going to hit the video for a second. Yeah, anybody notice my Hellcat look hat today? Let me kind of pay attention to that. Yeah, what about that, huh? Should it be Gold Rush color? There goes the kid in the exhaust note Mustang. So yeah, something that the Carvana gentleman talked about. We talked about, the vehicles, the market, and I told him I wouldn't get too detailed in anything to kind of, he doesn't want to share all the laundry, dirty laundry, clean laundry, whatever laundry. But, I said, it's interesting you see these cars populate, like who owned this car? And so what he sees a lot is he claims the guy 24 to 28 years old that pick up these cars, which for me, it's hard to believe they can even get insurance on them, but I guess you do, but it's expensive as all get out. I mean, I'll never forget witnessing the guy going to buy Z06 back in 2006, young guy, and and then he walked out all pissed off. And from what I could understand from the conversation from the dealership was the finance company didn't want to finance him. I mean, they did not want to finance him because he's like a 21-year-old kid getting ready to buy the Corvette Z06 back in the day. For anybody here that's the motorhead, you'd be like, yeah, that car, oh my gosh, that was a hot-ass, badass car. Yeah, did I have one of those? Yeah. I had a 2008 Z06. Fun car. So, he was saying, the whole point is the finance company, it's just too risky. And even insurance companies would just quote them stupid insurance rates, just hoping they wouldn't buy the car. And some insurance companies won't even cover you. So anyways, he was saying that what's going on, he sees a lot of these high performance, high end cars where younger people buy them, and then after X amount of time, it's such a huge financial obligation, then they sell it. He claims that's pretty big. That's a lot. It's more than you realize. So a lot of these cars, like the Gold Rush that I just got, his gut instinct is it was a younger guy that owned that car, and just finally had to cross the bridge and had other commitments in life that are more important. Which I've been down that road. I've had like no cars in my life. I've had my heyday, not my heyday. So here's the next thing. So here, get this. So now yesterday, while the vehicle's, in process to get to my house yesterday, my sales guy texts me this. Yeah, guess what's sitting down in Tennessee? Yeah, that's called an Indian Pursuit. Okay, if you look right here. Now, I ordered that vehicle on my birthday. And what's really cool is that Indian has new technology. That's a heated and cooled seat. That actually seat has technology in it where it gives you a cooled seat. But here's the thing. If you're watching my channel, I purchased a Challenger. And so you'd be like, well, that kind of looks like a Challenger. Right, it is a Challenger, but the only difference is, see this tour pack? So what separates it from being called the Challenger from the Pursuit, this is the first year out for Dodge. Isn't that funny? This is the first year out for Indian to offer the tour pack setup in the Challenger line. Challenger was brought to the market in 2020. I got one of the first ones in like October or November of 2019. And so the difference is on the Pursuit, what they do is they put lowers. See those lowers? Okay, that gives you great, let me see if I can get my little, gives you better views here. Okay, so what happens is your feet and your legs are protected from the cold air in the cooler months. And then you have the tour pack. Okay, the tour pack, which makes it so you can store more storage. You got your saddlebags, and then you've got your tour pack, so you can put a lot more gear in there, and then of course you have your back seat passenger comfort for you have a person riding, a passenger like my daughter used to ride with me all the time. It has a bigger front windshield, so heated grips, heated seat. So it's more of an all-season type of motorcycle. And since I sold my Dark Horse Roadmaster, it's the avatar of my Ice Age TV. If you look at that, that's my first Indian motorcycle I bought, and I had really strong reservations of selling it, but I'm more on the page in life more than ever in my life that when you buy something, you got to give something up. I'm not going down the road again of having 30 freaking vehicles. Forget that. Not in today's economic uncertainties more than ever in our lifetime again. Who knows how it's going to play out, but better to base it the worst case scenario. And if you're smart, if you're smart, be smarter than me. Just base your financial decisions on the worst case scenario. And if you do that, you're going to be okay. If you base your financial decisions on the best case scenario, you're probably going to fail because that means you're not prepared when the lights turn off. Can that happen? It's happened before. Why can't it happen again? It's like me saying to you, I got sick, but I'm not going to get sick again. Yeah, right. Yeah, good luck on that. So, anyways, so now I don't have a touring motorcycle. I used to have a touring Goldwing. I sold that. And, so now I'm on the fence when I go to Tennessee, do I buy that bike? but I have cards to play with if I do that. What do you mean you have cards to play with? Well, right now, I've got 2 other Hondas that you don't even see, really, that I could probably take and trade for that bike. And in that scenario there, that would make sense. It's 2 for 1. So now the debate is, here's what's kind of going on. I've got 2 different motorcycle trailers. One motorcycle trailer is set up for 2 bikes, and it's only big enough for 2 bikes. My other motorcycle trailer, which is a miniature, smaller car hauler, it's not miniature, but a smaller car hauler, it's set up for 4 bikes. So the debate now is, I got to now start strategizing all my spare time over the next day, get the heck out of here and taking care of my company, and get and drive my Gold Rush. And do I get to take the Gold Rush to get the windows tinted and this and that? I don't know. That's a whole other conversation. But anyways, so do I take, I mean, right now, there's no motorcycles down in Tennessee per se for us to ride this weekend, on Labor Day weekend. And so right now, I'm going to haul back, even though this is so funny. I did a whole tow video of me hauling my 2 Indians back all the way up here. I've been so busy, and my daughter's now in school, that we've never even ridden. I mean, we've never even ridden the motorcycles. So borderline total waste of time to even bring back those bikes. I should just left them in Tennessee. But I had the pro attitude that if we decide we have some time to ride, we will. But yeah, it didn't play out. So now I'm just turning around and towing those back so we can have a riding adventure. But here's the thing. If I want to buy that Pursuit Challenger, okay, you know, what do I do? Add another bike again? I don't know. You know, do I sell the Hondas on my own? I don't know. So there's another YouTube adventure. Yeah, I said, you know, if you want to follow some more adventures of the crazy man motorhead guy, the passionate guy that goes beyond passions, yeah, stay tuned, right? But today what I'm going to do, I'm going to evaluate the work schedule here for my business, and then I'm going to call my buddy at LA Tint. But here's the thing. He's a really great guy. He gets me in, like, I just call him, and he schedules me in. But it's usually very simple. I'm usually doing like 2 windows, and the barking starts, right? So there's 2 windows, so it's not a lot. That Challenger, if I do that Challenger, you're talking 2, you know, front windows, 2 little rear windows, the back rear window, maybe a stripe across the windshield, then do the tail lights, do the markers. So all of a sudden, that can turn into him a 2-hour project. And my gut instinct is, from that place just being overwhelmed with work, he's going to say, look, it's just, I don't have time. I can't do it. It's just too much. And he's a cool guy, and I'm all good with it. And he'll probably say, look, just tell me when you bring it next week, and we'll do it next week. So I think that's probably what's going to play out. But I don't know. But even my work schedule, I got so many things going on. So we shall see. So anyways, it's the Good Morning Wednesday morning passions of thus Ice Age vehicles and what governing bodies are doing to lure us away from the passions that we love of our Ice Age by throwing the candy, throwing the carrot out in front of people's face to get them to change. And it's just, wow, just the times have changed. Incredible. So once again, thanks for watching my YouTube channel, and stay tuned for some more Gold Rush adventures. And I will post that if we do some tinting today or driving around. I don't know yet. But anyways, thanks for watching my channel, and stay tuned for more.